Um, that's again a very good question. And I think we'd also acknowledge that the industry has been in our industry has been in trouble for a couple of years. It's not just over, I think COVID has pushed us over the edge, but we've been edging closer to the edge of a cliff for quite a while. Um,
Mm,
we have, I think everybody, if you look at the CISA surveys, everybody has reported declining revenues and more competition and so on. And the other thing that you will also notice is that there are so many more engineering firms now than there were, say, 10 years ago. And the reason why
yes.
is because many people are opting to rather work for themselves.
Yeah.
Uh, and we've seen that as well. Even in big companies, people will run a 1 or 2 man show, and technology has allowed this to happen. That people can produce the same outputs with a lot fewer people. So I think that is a trend that's happening in our industry, and I think we have to accept it. Uh, on one hand, we have to then be more flexible about the type of work that we look out for, and we have to be very flexible about where we find this work. There is, if you look at the largest growing economies in the world, probably of the top 20, more than half of them are in Africa. So economic growth in the African continent is very rapid. Obviously, COVID changes a lot of this, but there's still many opportunities, and we have to be flexible and willing to look outside of our borders to find work and to find opportunities. So the first thing, and this is something that I've said to people in my team: if you're a young engineer and you don't have a passport, then you're in trouble. You have to have a passport and you must be willing to travel, right? Because a lot of the opportunities that you'll find are not going to be in South Africa. Um, that's the first part of it. The second part I will say is that if you are hardworking, if you're a committed person, you will be seen. You will definitely be seen. If you have a team of people and there's somebody who always puts their hand up and always volunteers and always does their best, that person is going to be seen, and you will always try and keep that person in your organization, because that's really what you have. That's what you have to. That's how an organization stays afloat. It's by people doing their best in difficult circumstances. So attitude is very, very important, but also just applying yourself, being willing to learn, being teachable. Um, those things are invaluable. So I would say that as a young person, I know I have people in my team who are 3 or 4 years into their careers, and they came into the industry at probably the worst time, where there's no growth, and it's very, very challenging. But I kind of see it like it's almost like a spring. When you compress a spring, you have all this energy stored up, and at some point there's a turnaround. And we know that in all economic conditions are cyclical. You have downturns and you have upturns. When you get an upturn, the people that benefit the most are the people who have built up that tension. They've built up, they've stored that energy, they've learned what they could, they've built relationships, and when things turn around, those are the people who just fly in their careers. So it's very difficult. Like it's very difficult to stay motivated. It's also on seniors to try and keep you motivated, to say that, look, things are going to turn around eventually. But
Yes.
we also need our government. We need to lobby our government to invest in the right areas, such that our profession grows, but also we contribute to the growth of the country.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in summary, I think that's the important thing. It's very much about attitude, but we must also be able to look out for those opportunities. There are opportunities out there, and we still, despite everything that's happening, we still have a shortage of engineers, and we should be very conscious of that. We still have a shortage of engineers. We need to
Yeah.
connect um, uh, expertise with opportunities, and that's very important.